Hi everyone. So the article I chose for the project is titled Many Schools Are Not Providing Any Instruction Amid Closures, and it's from US News and World Report. Some of the issues the article brought up was that 55 million American students are displaced from their traditional school settings, and it's especially hard to find accommodations for disabled students and students from low-income households that might not have access to the internet or a digital learning device. The Center for Reinventing Public Education has put together a database of how teachers and district leaders in 82 school districts that serve more than 9 million children are attempting to finish up the school year. And although the sample can't be extrapolated to apply to the entire United States, it included a lot of big cities like New York City and Los Angeles. And you can see on the left-hand side some of the data that they found. Only 10% of districts are providing any real curriculum and instruction program, and less than 5% are providing formal curriculum, online instruction, and student progress monitoring. And then you can see some of the other ones there. Some districts are having an easier time, like the Miami-Dade Public Schools. They already had plans set in place in the event of school closures due to the hurricanes and natural disasters that happen around there. And they were able to distribute more than 56,000 laptops in a 2-week span. And also some public-private partnerships have been made between LA and Verizon, NYC, with Apple and T-Mobile. Atlanta partnered with T-Mobile, all to provide students with the digital devices and access they needed to learn online. So some of the things we can learn from all of this is how fragile and grossly underprepared the American educational system is in the event of a crisis. And a lot of lower income students are left at a severe disadvantage because they need assistance from charity in order to get access to what they need to learn. And social distance learning is not a bad thing by any means, but uh, everyone needs to have the proper tools to be prepared for it. And finally, catastrophes are unavoidable. They're always going to happen no matter what they are, and there should be a lot of procedures in place for a lot of different scenarios so this doesn't happen again. Some overall feelings I had from this article was both disappointed and optimistic. Uh, it's very clear that schools are underfunded if private companies have to step in and act like charities to make sure students have what they need to learn in an online space. And I'm also optimistic because capitalism tends to be pretty vicious, and it's kind of almost heartwarming to see that for-profit companies are being so kind just because they have the money to be kind. And some links to the course content I saw was digital literacy. Students and teachers have to be digitally literate in order to make online learning effective, as well as making sure they have the digital tools necessary in distance learning, because it doesn't work without the tools and knowing how to use it. Especially students that are only receiving the content from their curriculum without any instruction, it's completely up to them to navigate that digital space and make sure they get their assignments done and turned in. I personally am very dependent on the instruction of a teacher to make sure I'm learning, and in my personal experience with the transition into online learning, some of my teachers are not the most digitally literate, so it's been a little tough. Some final questions I have is it problematic for public schools to receive and rely on private funding? Why are there no procedures in place in the event of school closures for the majority of districts? What should be done going forward? And is it irresponsible of the school district to provide curriculum coursework without instruction to go along with it?